Ye gods, welcome to Villain's Mental Health. Loki in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We had to. His character has been complex and easily one of the best villains throughout the MCU. If you know his origin, let's run it once more. But if you don't know it well, it's okay. I'm here. Give me your hand and I will take you on this journey. That's a really bad accent. Loki is the son of Laufey and ruler of the Frost Giants in Jotunheim. But he was abandoned and left to die shortly right after his birth. The thing is, Odin found him and took him to Asgard, and he was raised by him and Frigga. The thing is, Odin did change the way he looked. He gave him more of an Asgardian look, changed his DNA. He grew up with Thor, but he always knew something felt off, something different. He was different. He started to play tricks on him and anyone just to get a joke in, including Lady Sif. He knew Thor was going to be crowned king of Asgard in the Thor movie. He of course sabotaged the coronation, leading Thor to fight the Frost Giants, then Odin banishing him for disobeying him. Thor is sent to Midgard, and Odin falls into the Odin sleep. Frigga gives Loki the throne, but when Thor returns home, he ends Loki's reign. They fight, and at the end Loki sacrifices himself, falling into the deep abyss of space, entering a wormhole.
We were raised together. We played together. We fought together. Do you remember none of that?
I remember a shadow, living in the shade of your greatness.
Alone, always believing that nobody gets him, distancing himself from everyone. But he also knows that he's becoming more narcissistic. He craves the attention. He always has a trick up his sleeve for everyone, even if it hurts people. I'm going to move on to the Dark World. Right at the end, he cared about his brother, even his mother, even telling her off, but still caring right after her death. His growth of a character caring about Thor, saving Asgard, and Jane Foster from Malekith was growth. He understood that even if he was different from his family, they still loved him as their own. But when Frigga's ultimate end came to be, that's where Loki changed, and he stopped telling himself he didn't care about her. You could see his character break down in the prison of Asgard. It devastated him. It was until his final moments that he identified himself as Odin's son, and the rightful king of Jotunheim.
I'll tell Father what you did here today.
I didn't do it for him.
I, Loki, Prince of Asgard,
Odin's son, the rightful king of Jotunheim.
God of mischief.
But of course, living in 2021, the Marvel Universe progresses to Phase 4, and it takes a huge twist. They decided they wanted to grow his character even more, having a second redemption story. Kind of. During Endgame, we see Tony fails to secure the Tesseract that they needed. We see the case opening up and the Tesseract sliding into the feet of Loki. He picks it up and now becoming a variant in the timeline. This stops whatever this Loki is going to learn and quickly diverges from that. This Loki doesn't experience what his non-variant self does, but the conversation that takes place with him and Mobius is impactful because it gets to the core of the character.
Why are you the way that you are?
Mobius breaks down Loki as he was his own psychologist, and it's fascinating because of what occurs and how it progresses him throughout his own story. One of the very few lines that Loki says is, "The first and most oppressive lie ever uttered was the song of freedom. For nearly every living thing, choice breeds shame and uncertainty and regret." Mobius picks at this statement and tells him that he believes that he is that nearly living thing. He doesn't seem to think of himself as important in the world, the universe, and in Asgard. So he creates chaos. Now this of course is to understand Loki because later on Mobius tells him that there is a variant of him running around ruining things in the timeline. But even watching his mother die, there's a small little detail of him that we've seen in the Dark World movie. Him taking it more seriously in the setting he's with Mobius. When he's alone and looking through the timeline, he sees him and his brother having a better relationship and building it. His brother telling him that he thought the world of him and he hopes for a better future and even to fight alongside him. But this ends up turning because he sees the Titan. Thanos, and his mood changes. His expression becomes more serious. You see Thanos grabbing him by the neck and squeezing the life out of him. And he utters a few words, and Thanos snaps his neck. He tells Mobius he doesn't enjoy it.
I do it because I have to. Because it's part of the illusion. The cruel, elaborate trick conjured by the weak to inspire fear.
That's where he changes, not as a hero, but a way to redeem himself. More or less like an anti-hero. Drop a like on the video and tell us what you thought about season 1 of Loki. We'll see you in the next one, Geek Gods. Peace!